Welcome to Beastmode Camping. Normally I'm out in the wilderness chasing adventure, but today, the wild is right here in my garage. With gear piled everywhere, I decided it's time for a transformation. And I've got a comparison between some heavy-duty racks and ones found on Temu. And since everyone needs a place to store their gear, let's get started. I'm standing in front of a giant mess, which means today we're about to do some spring cleaning. This video isn't just about cleaning up that mess, but I also bought a gorilla rack from Costco for a couple $100, as well as 2 racks from Temu. We're gonna put them to the test to see if they can withstand that. Now before we get started, I want to say a couple things. When I first heard about Temu, I wanted to make a couple videos to bring products to you to see if they're useful, see if they can even hold up. And I've made follow-up videos saying if the products were good or bad. I took a little bit of heat from those. I got a lot of good comments saying looks like good gear and stuff like that, but I also got a lot of negative comments all saying the same thing. I don't buy from China. However, I did want to say that it's probably less about the country that it comes from and more about bringing to you guys quality products at an affordable price. That being said, I don't really spend a lot of time on where the products are coming from, but only if they're quality products. And I'm gonna let you know. So back to that, rain or shine, we're getting the job done today. And it looks like today we're doing rain. Let's get after it. Hopefully there's not too much dead in here. I'm gonna kind of measure out what I'm gonna do first because I think this one's 7 foot. And then get the other 2 brought out here. So after about an hour, I feel like I've made very little progress. All I'm really doing is moving stuff from this side of the garage to that side of the garage. Only because it's raining. I would have moved it outside, but I don't want everything to get too wet. But here's my plan. I'm gonna move all this stuff over to that side of the garage, figure out what I'm doing with this container and that one. The problem here is that one fits almost perfect underneath that top shelf. That's kind of a ceiling hung shelf, so I don't want to lose that real estate either. I'm probably going to have to take away those hooks. I'll figure out a new place to put those because I like hooks. But I'm going to have to move all of the chemicals and stuff that are in this one. Move this out. I think I'm going to put the bigger shelf right here along this wall. I'd love to put the smaller shelves along here and then possibly move that one over there. We'll see how it looks. The good thing is, without everything on them, I should be able to move them around pretty easily. Bad thing about having big storage things like this, I think it's probably been like 5 years since I've even been in this thing. We've got old china. We've got a turkey fryer, some charcoal, lighter fluid, probably stuff you don't want right here in your garage. More tents. Oh, this is the old tent.
We should paint the walls, but
if you want to paint the walls today, good. She's telling me I need to take those things out.
Huh?
Huh? So now it's changed from a garage reorganization to a transformation. What you doing, babe?
Huh? You and me?
Yeah. You guys would not believe the amount of different colored white paints there are. So she wants to paint the walls, and we tried this stuff and this stuff and this stuff. They're all just different shades of white, but they start looking blue. So, trip to Home Depot, and here's what we got. That is an awesome looking white, babe.
Probably need to get the ladder.
Oh, we moved it all over from one side to the other. Gonna have to see if we can get all this stuff put away. All right, so we've got it mostly cleaned out. It looks pretty good. I moved that was originally right there over to here. I'm not sure if I dig it yet. I'm gonna have to figure that out pretty quick though. Check it out, it's already dark outside. We started earlier in the morning. The walls are painted, looks great. But I need to figure out first where that thing's gonna go. But I think I'm gonna start building the racks, and then I could probably drag them around hopefully.
Now I want to sweep behind here real quick.
All right, so with the Costco brand, these ones are pretty thick steel. The Temu ones, they're quite a bit thinner, but it's still not horrible. We're gonna have to see how rigid it is once it's all built. It's definitely, I mean, it's a thinner piece of steel, as I mean, obviously compared to this, probably by about 3 times the gauge. But for what I'm using it for, I'm sure it's gonna hold up fine. And where the Gorilla Rack has these big deep openings, this one's very similar. They're just smaller, but these are gonna go in there like this. Boom. So while they're equally as easy to put together, the Gorilla Rack is substantially just more robust. This one, unfortunately, these where it's gonna go together, this is all steel, but then it's got these plastic inserts, and basically this insert is going to hold the rest of it that goes all the way up. So this is only 1/2 of it and a little flimsy, so I wouldn't recommend putting a ton on it. This one, each rack can hold 2,000 pounds, and so the whole thing can hold 8,000. This one, we're gonna have to see how much I can put on it. I'm sure it'll be fine with paint and some other stuff, but just, that's kind of what you're getting so far. It's day 2, and yet another gloomy day. All right, gang, we were up working on this most of the night, so my plan is to have one over here, another cabinet that opens in the middle, and then another cabinet right over here, or another rack right over here. First, I've got to raise that up in order to fit this underneath it. So I will lose a little bit of space here, but it's going to be something similar to what we've got going on right here. But before I do, I want to show you a little bit about the construction. It's not really about the quality, but it's more about the durability. First, let's talk about the Gorilla Rack. So on these, it just, I mean, they are labeled industrial strengths, but I mean, these are thick. I can't tell you, I mean, there's no torquing them. I do feel like I could jump up and down on this one. It's gonna be fine. The Temu ones, now, obviously a lot more inexpensive, but check this out. After noticing how much I could torque these things, I went up to Home Depot because I wanted to see kind of the difference between the ones they made and the ones I got off Temu. Well, they torque just about the same, but with a substantially higher price tag. If you can get these for, I would say, 35 to maybe even 50 bucks, and you need the space, I'd probably go ahead and pick them up. Now this one is smaller. I wouldn't get the smallest one and pay attention to the measurements. Now this one back here is 72 inches tall, so 6 foot by 39 inches by almost 18 inches deep. In comparison, if you put that one next to the Gorilla Rack, it's about a quarter of the size. Now, if you're not a Costco member, I think I saw them on the site for like 270 bucks. But when I went into the store, they were 199 bucks. That felt like a bargain to me. Not only do I think that I could jump up and down on that one holding a bunch of stuff and still be fine. While these definitely, you can put a lot of downward force. I do feel like they're secure. They're probably not gonna hold 2,000 pounds apiece, but they definitely feel secure. Now I will say, without these racks in there, I wish it had a crossbar to give it added rigidity, but it feels okay. Before I put these in, it did sway a bit, so just keep that in mind. Once you get the racks in, it feels like it adds a lot of rigidity to it. But let me get started on this and raise that up so I can get these put in place and see exactly how I want everything laid out. Alright, I know this looks nasty, but it looks way worse than it actually is. Now that we have those built, it's time to wade through this mess and get everything organized neatly on the shelves. Now let's take a look at the before and after to see how it looks. Now while this is far from perfect, I think we're doing a much better job than when we started. Now this giant saw behind me is about the only thing left that I don't really know what to do with. So if you have any ideas, drop a note in the comments section and let me know. I could probably hang it on the wall, but man, that thing's pretty heavy. Now for the bigger stuff, I do think the Gorilla Racks were a great buy at just under 200 bucks. I'd definitely do that again. Now as for the Temu racks, I think they're gonna do the job. I mean, they feel pretty sturdy. I've got quite a bit of stuff on here, as you can see, and I think this is gonna do me perfect. And this was under 100 bucks for that whole setup. In fact, I think it was less than 80 bucks. So for those of you that are looking to clean up your mess or maybe do something like I did, I could definitely say that both of these are a pretty good option. Now while this isn't my normal content, generally I'm outside, but again, I do a bit of things that are random from time to time. So if this is your type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. If you like this type of content, make sure you check out our YouTube channel where we have hundreds of videos just like this. If you want to see our newest adventures, be sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell so you never miss another video.